Okay, we'll begin first up 9 a.m. live with some breaking news coming in at this moment. The medical report of Kanhaiya Kumar has indicated small injuries on the JNU Student Union president. The medical test was conducted immediately after the assault on him at the Patiala House Court in Delhi. India Today has a copy of the report which says that Kanhaiya had tenderness in his right toe. He also had abrasions on his left foot and over his nose. The report says there were no other external injuries. We've got Jugal Purohit joining us with all the latest. Jugal, this basically goes to show that he did take a few blows over there as predicted in the Patiala House Court incident.
Absolutely, Sanket. It just proves the point which was being reported from that day onwards, that notwithstanding all the assurances, notwithstanding all the promises, the massive ring of security that was thrown around the Patiala House Court, the fact is that the police and the administration simply failed in preventing an accused in a certain case from being publicly beaten up. And however light it is, the fact is that he did receive a few blows. That is what this report that we've received is confirming. Remember, this was a report which has been published after an immediate medical examination of Kanhaiya Kumar. He was taken out of the Patiala House Court and then he was taken to the Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital. So immediately after the courtroom appearances, when this examination was done, and this report only goes to show just how miserably the police and the administration failed on that day.
Absolutely. Jugal Purohit, many thanks for joining us. So this report, the copy of the report, which is with India Today, says that Kanhaiya had tenderness in his right toe, abrasions on his left foot and over his nose, and the report says that there were no other external injuries. Now, there is absolutely no end to the JNU impasse that is going on. Absolutely no end, because all sides have taken the very tough position. The political firestorm over this issue continues to spread. The JNU crackdown has triggered massive protests across the nation. Agitations have been witnessed in different parts of the country for and against the JNU students. Meanwhile, the Modi government has made it mandatory to fly the tricolour at all universities, which may or may not be related to this particular incident. The HRD ministry took this decision at the Vice Chancellor's conclave in Delhi. Now, a new video of Kanhaiya Kumar has in fact been circulating on the internet. This video is being called clinching proof of Kanhaiya raising seditious slogans on the JNU campus. In this video, Kanhaiya is flanked by Omar Khalid, who's now being called by the Delhi police as the mastermind of the anti-India pro-Afzal event at JNU on the 9th of February. But is this the new video truly clinching proof of sedition charges against Kanhaiya, or is this just an attempt to spin what really happened? Rahul Kamal, TV Today Network's managing editor, gets us this exclusive report. Do watch closely.
This new video from Jawaharlal Nehru University is from the 11th of February, 2 days after the now infamous pro-Afzal anti-India event organized by the Democratic Students Union. This video has gone viral on social media and is being played up aggressively on some Hindi and English news channels. The anti-Kanhaiya brigade is calling this clinching proof of the JNU students' body president raising anti-India slogans. Let's listen first to the full audio of this 20-second clip. So did Kanhaiya actually participate in anti-India sloganeering, or is the truth something completely different? Take a look now at the same video as seen from another angle. In this second video, suddenly the anti-India slogans can no longer be heard. The chant is still one that seeks Azadi, but the Azadi that is being sought is freedom from casteism, freedom from feudalism, freedom from Brahmanism, and freedom from Manuwad. So what explains the difference in the two videos that show the same scene but have completely different implications? To unravel this mystery, let's take you back to this video. Shot on the 9th of February, where a group of students are demanding Azadi for Kashmir. What seems to have happened is that somebody has taken the audio from the video which was shot on the 9th of February and overlaid it on the video that was shot 2 days later on the 11th of February, which is why the audio that can be heard is so completely different. In a highly surcharged atmosphere, it is important to proceed with caution. It's best for the judiciary to decide whether or not Kanhaiya is guilty of sedition, instead of politicians rushing to provide certificates of innocence or guilt. This is Rahul Kamal reporting for India Today.
Okay, Rahul Kamal, TV Today Network's managing editor, now joins us this morning for more on this story that he got us. Rahul, morning.
Morning, Sanket.
You have been reporting on this story since yesterday. First of all, I want to know from you what has been the reaction from the centre on this particular video. These new
I know
revelations.
for a fact that the opposition is completely charged up. They're saying that this is proof of fact that a dirty tricks department has been functioning over time and creating these false videos, because you've seen one false video which we played out in the story. I also showed in our broadcast some fake images that were doing the rounds, where Kanhaiya apparently has a dismembered flag of India at the back, and in the other real image he actually doesn't have. He's just a plain white cloth at the back. So the opposition is saying that this is proof of the fact that he's being framed. The government is completely silent. We've seen from BJP spokespersons an attempt to try and distance themselves from this video. We saw, for example, some BJP spokespersons go channel to channel on their iPads, show this particular video, draw attention to it, to make the fact that this is, to make the point that this is clinching evidence, they said, of Kanhaiya being involved in anti-national activities. If you look at the Twitter handles, the Facebook pages of several BJP leaders in the middle rungs, they've been putting that video out again and again, trying to create the impression that, the question which was being asked about whether Kanhaiya was involved in anti-national activities has now been answered. Internally, I know that the story is being seen by people at very high levels in the government, and they are very concerned because there's a big part of the establishment, especially the bureaucrats, have been deeply concerned in the manner in which this case has been presented. You've already seen stories in PTI, in Economic Times and elsewhere where Ministry of Home Affairs officials are quoted as having said that the whole business of applying sedition seems to have been a case of police overreach. They're very concerned about this. Off the record as well, several other bureaucrats telling us that they don't believe that this is a fit grounds for sedition. And I want to make this point, Sanket. No one is for a moment suggesting that Umar Khalid, Anirban Bhattacharya, Riazul Huq and the others who actually held that anti-India, pro-Kashmir, pro-Afzal rally should not be booked. The law must come down on them. However, is Kanhaiya Kumar equally guilty? He says he wasn't part of the organizing committee. He was there in his capacity as the JNU Students' Body President. He, though, has been booked under a draconian charge, a colonial charge of sedition. Now, there are serious question marks about whether the Supreme Court will uphold that. We're also hearing now from Bhimsen Basi, the Delhi Police Commissioner, who's about to retire at the end of this month, that they will not oppose bail to Kanhaiya. Now, tell me, if you're charging somebody with sedition, if you're charging somebody with trying to break up this country, why would you not oppose his bail when it comes up for hearing in the Supreme Court? Is the Delhi police either of its own realization or under pressure from the MHA, coming around to the conclusion that sedition seems to have been wrongly applied. And because now the highly surcharged political atmosphere, because of the fact that Parliament starts in just a couple of days from now,
Absolutely.
they can't say this in public. And therefore, they're saying, okay, we won't oppose his bail application. If this is a person you deem as dangerous as a terrorist, how can the police not oppose his bail application? It baffles logic. It seems to suggest that there's been a rethink, but a rethink is not enough. There must be an apology, because if sedition charges have been wrongly applied, that must be publicly admitted, and the man must be apologized to.
Absolutely, Rahul. Apology required on multiple counts, provided that it now appears that this is a fake video. And there was never a case of sedition against Kanhaiya Kumar. Will the government apologize? What are the courts going to eventually decide? And thirdly, and most importantly, a section of the media, will they apologize for perhaps jumping the gun? Thanks very much, Rahul Kamal, joining us with all the latest details. Now, even as proof emerges that the video implicating Kanhaiya Kumar could in fact be fake, this entire matter will be in the courts as well. Supreme Court will decide on his bail plea today. The student leader is facing sedition charges after anti-national slogans were raised in the JNU campus. Senior lawyers Soli Sorabji and Raju Ramachandran will argue Kanhaiya Kumar's bail plea. Former Delhi University professor S.A.R. Gilani's bail plea will also come up for hearing today in the Patiala House Court. Gilani has been booked for sedition after he participated in an anti-India event in Press Club where anti-national slogans were raised. Meanwhile, the 6-member special lawyer panel appointed by the Supreme Court to probe the attacks in Patiala House Court have submitted their report. Another report by the Delhi police is also expected today. So today is a day of reports. Let's now go across to Anusha Soni, who joins us with all the latest. Morning, Anusha. It won't be wrong to say that today a lot of reports are actually going to come out, and at least before we head into a weekend, we could have some clarity at least of what happened last week.
Sanket, to begin with, the hearing today at the Supreme Court is crucial on many grounds. First, the fact that the Supreme Court is going to hear the bail application of Kanhaiya, even when the trial court has not heard it. This happens in very exceptional and rare circumstances where Supreme Court prima facie thinks that there is a denial of liberty and justice, of right to life of a person. That is one of the exceptional things that's going to happen at the Supreme Court, that the bail application of Kanhaiya is going to be heard. Secondly, as you pointed out, this report by the Supreme Court appointed panel was submitted yesterday at the court, and today the findings of it might be discussed in an open courtroom. It will be very interesting to see what are the observations of the 6-member panel on the Delhi police, on the sort of instances that happened inside the Patiala House Court. Because remember, the team itself of the Supreme Court led by Kapil Sibal, Rajiv Dhawan, Dushyant Davi and various other lawyers were assaulted inside the court premises in the presence of Delhi police. Also, the report of the Delhi police, as you pointed out, about this entire fiasco of this law and order situation, why it happened, why the media people were attacked, who were the lawyers involved, and what is the sort of action they are going to take. So, of course, today's day will be a lot about answering the questions that you and I have been raising in the last 1 week.
Anusha Soni, many thanks for joining us with all the latest. We are
The Jawaharlal Nehru University Students' Union President Kanhaiya Kumar has moved Supreme Court for bail in the sedition case that's been filed against him. The Supreme Court is to hear his